record this. Right. So this was our accumulation. London, manipulation. Where to? Return to breaker. Then London was the beginning of the distribution. This was the BMS. That's like this is a type 2 reversal here. Higher high, higher low, fail to make a high, BMS. Where's the order block? This one here. This was our entry. Our entry in New York. New York entry. This one here. Stop loss above here. Type 2. Okay. As you can see with the market structure, lower low, lower high, lower low. So this was a good day. This was an AMD in line with market structure. In line with market structure. But like I say, sometimes there's no AMD. The market structure will play out, but sometimes there's no AMD. What do I mean by this? Look at the previous day. Look at this. There is no AMD here. Okay? Okay, let me put it like this. There is no our common AMD, our common Asia accumulation, what is it? London manipulation and New York distribution. What we have here is what I call an advanced AMD. Advanced AMD. The advanced AMD has nothing to do with the sessions or the time or the day. It can happen anytime, anywhere, any time frame. So where's the advanced AMD? So this was the advanced AMD. AMD, this one. This one has nothing to do with the sessions. It just happens anywhere, anytime. That's the one which we call advanced AMD. This was the advanced AMD yesterday. But using the sessions, there was no AMD here. With the sessions, there was no AMD. So sometimes there's no AMD. Right, the next day, let's see. The next day, accumulation up until okay. So Asia accumulation, London accumulation, then New York distribution. That's like I explained last time. But sometimes Asia and London will be the accumulation. Wait. Where was the manipulation? Well, if this is our accumulation. Oh, okay, now I see. I made a mistake. Yeah, I see now. We are bearish. Price is bearish. So this is our A, our M, and our distribution. Yeah, there it is. Our A here, which took about 2 days, our manipulation and our distribution. There it is. This is the advanced one. It's nothing to do with the sessions. It can be even 2 days of accumulation. And then on this day, this was the accumulation. This is the manipulation, distribution. Because we are bearish. So if you are bearish, we are looking for a bearish AMD. What's a bearish AMD? AMD or AMMD. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for type 1 or type 2. Here, AMD. AMD. There we go. Everything is in line with market structure. Look at market structure. Lower low, lower high. Lower low, lower high. Lower low. But now if you go to lower time frame, you can see the AMD very clear. Same thing. Lower low, lower high. Lower low, lower high. Lower low. But now let's look at our AMD. Accumulation in Asia. Accumulation again in London. Then New York manipulate and distribute. There we go. In line with market structure. And then the next day, there was no AMD because now we were having a reversal. Lower low than BMS. We're now having a reversal. So just like I said, sometimes there's no AMD. Sometimes there's no clear AMD. But even if there's no AMD, your market structure will never, your market structure will always be correct. As long as you know how to do market structure, you can still buy and sell, even with no AMD. This can be, this was accumulation, manipulation, distribution, advanced AMD, advanced AMD. Next day, there's no, this accumulation in Asia. London, there was no manipulation. There was no manipulation in London. But there was advanced AMD, AM distribution, advanced. Next day, no AMD here. Just like I said, sometimes there's no AMD. Next day, now this day we are type 2 AMD, type 2. This is your accumulation. This is your M1. M1, M2, distribution. This is our type 2 AMD, which is like AMMD, this one, AMMD. That's type 1, type 2, sorry, type 2 AMD. What's our market structure? Let's look at the market structure. Lower low, I think it's, no, I can't, yeah, I have to use the higher time frame. Okay, there it is, yeah. Lower low, lower high, still to make a low, BMS, type 2 reversal. And then, yeah, that was, and then the next day, no AMD. The next day, accumulation, manipulation. No, this one was a bit tricky though. I think this accumulation, manipulation, distribution. On another bigger picture, it can be accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Also, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. AMD. That's next day. Accumulation, manipulation, taking out yesterday's low, distribution. Manipulation always, this manipulation here took out this high, yesterday's high. This was an advanced AMD. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, advanced. There's nothing to do with the sessions. All right. Another one here, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, New York retracement, continue going down. All right. Type 2. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, New York retracement goes up. Accumulation, first manipulation, second manipulation, distribution. Accumulation in Asia, London manipulate, and then also distribution. New York retracement goes up. Next day, nothing here. Yeah, it's in the wrong side of the trend. Right, next day, nothing here. You see, like I was saying, sometimes there's no AMD. No AMD here, no AMD here. Even this one, there was no manipulation in Asia, in London, I mean. No AMD. Sometimes there's no AMD. But you can still buy with your market structure. We could have bought, I think we could have bought somewhere. Let me see. You could have bought here. You would have also bought here. But this will make sense in the later lessons once you have learned everything. AMD, AM1, M2, D. Accumulation, Asia and London, New York, manipulation, and also distribution. The next day, there was no, okay, there was no A and then MD here, but there was like an advanced AMD. A here, M here, distribution here. That's the AMD, right? Anyway, next day, nothing here. This one is not really AM1, M2 distribution, but I would have wanted to take for them to take out these lows first, for it to be a clear M2. All right. All right. Any questions? Any questions on daily AMD? on daily AMD.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Please, you said I should remind you the last time of whether I asked you whether every pair face some of, I asked you whether some of the pairs violate the other block, or you asked me to
Oh,
remind
no, no,
you
no. No, I
in
think
the
you
fifth
asked, you
lesson.
need to ask
I
me that question in next lesson. Yes, the next lesson. That question is for
oh,
next
okay.
lesson. Yeah, after liquidity lesson. It's for next lesson. Yeah, next lesson.
Oh, okay. Please, I want to know. Does it mean there should be broken market structure during the Asian section before you know it's AM accumulation or AMD day?
Okay. Here's the thing, right? Just like I was saying, you need to know your market structure. If you have a higher high, right? If you go to 1 hour and 4 hour, you might see something like this. It will be a clear bullish candles, then they make a higher high, bearish candle, then they make a higher low, then they go up. But now if you go to 50 minutes, you're going to notice that there was a BMS here. Maybe it's even sometimes a bullish BMS, then a bearish BMS. That's why you need to know your market structure on the higher time frame, so that you won't be confused by the lower time frame BMSs. Okay, especially in type 2, was it to be like this, right? Then if you go to lower time frame, you might see something like this. So let's say here, right here, in this area here, if you go to 15 minutes, you see something like this. Then there's a bullish BMS. Then you think, I think I'm wrong. Now price is bullish. Maybe it was somewhere here. Then you think now you're wrong. No, 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 no. That's why you need to know your higher time. If you go to 4 hour, there's no BMS here. Okay, there was no BMS. Price is still going to manipulate. So this can be our now M1, then now M2, which is now this one now. Then price goes up. So the key is to know your market structure. That's the key. Know your market structure. Because if you know your market structure, you can be able to anticipate an AMD. You can anticipate it. But sometimes, like I was saying, like I was showing you, sometimes there's no AMD. There's no AMD sometimes. But your market structure is still correct. It's still showing you maybe a clear lower low and lower high. So an AMD is just a confluence concept. You might not even see it from Monday to Friday, but still on all those days you were buying and selling. Without AMD, you were using your order blocks, your breakers, your market structure, and what I'm going to teach you in the future. So it's just a confluence setup that you can use to anticipate what price will do. But most of the time, I like it when it's in line with market structure. So for example here, right? You see here, this was a BMS. So now we are bearish. Then here, this was a lower low. And this is a lower high. And then there's a lower low. But now if you go to lower time frame, this was the accumulation, manipulation, distribution. If you go to lower time frame. And our market structure is lower low, lower high, lower low. Do we know whether or not there will be a type 1 or type 2 before the move? No, you don't know. You just wait for them to show you what they're going to do. You don't know. We never know whether they're going to do a type 1 or type 2. So just wait and see what they will do. Okay, the market is to come to you. Don't force the market. Don't say, oh, I think now it's a type 1. I think it's a type 2. Oh, I want a type 1, a type 2. No. Wait for them to show you their move. Wait for them to give you your setup on a silver platter. So if you have your order block here, when they come back, wait and see what they're going to do on the lower time frame. If they give you a type 1, then take it. If they give you a type 2, take it again. Because that's your confluence, that they are respecting the order block or the breaker. And if this is also in line with AMD, there was an A here on lower time frame and an M, then D, then that's good. That's a good setup. That's a good setup. And I hope I answered your question. You see here, this is a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. But if we also look at it, there's no AMD here. There was no AMD here on lower time frame. But still market structure is correct. Return to order block is there. We could have sold without any AMD. But then the next day it was there. AMD. And in line with market structure now. Lower low. Wait, let me use the different color. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Now here it was there in line with the market structure. But here, market structure, order blocks, everything was there. We could have sold, but there was no AMD. So just like I was saying, sometimes there's no AMD and you can still trade with no AMD. It's just a confluence concept. Right. Any other question?
Yes. Please, is this for day traders only? This particular one.
Yeah. Yes, it's for day traders. For day trader, unless you are a. So if you are a swing trader, now you have to use the advanced AMD now. If you see it, so if you see it, yeah. Because if you see, for example, you have a 4-hour accumulation for like 1 week. 1 week is in 1 week price is just in accumulation on 4 hour. So when you see that, know that there's accumulation coming up. And then let's say daily, this was a higher high on daily. So we are expecting a daily higher low somewhere here. And then now 4 hours is giving you an accumulation for 1 week. Now, there we go, we get our daily higher low now. And now that's the 4-hour manipulation, this one. So now as a swing trader, you can buy here. You are now buying the 4-hour and the daily higher low, which is also the 4-hour manipulation, then now distribution. And the distribution is now also in continuation with the daily market structure. The higher low, the higher high, the higher low, the higher high here. So this for swing traders, yeah, for swing traders. Oh, I need to check something. Yes. Okay. It's answered. Okay, good. So that's our daily AMD. Daily AMD. Then the weekly AMD, that's the one where you can anticipate. Give me a second, guys. Just 1 second. Oh, 1 minute, I mean. 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. Now we go to the weekly AMD. So what's the weekly? So now I think the daily AMD is more common than the weekly AMD. Okay, it's more common. And recently I haven't been seeing weekly AMD. They haven't been happening often. But usually our weekly AMD, it is considered common for the high or low of the week to be on Tuesday or Wednesday. Then Thursday is also known as the reversal that undoes the week. So what do we mean by this? Accumulation is on Monday. Manipulation, Tuesday, high of the week. Then Tuesday begins the distribution. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, distributing. Then Friday, close. This is our weekly AMD. That's the weekly AMD. So majority of the typical textbook weekly AMD is Monday, accumulation, Tuesday, manipulation, then Tuesday to Thursday, that's the distribution, and also Friday, yeah, sometimes Friday. That's the typical weekly AMD. So for the weekly AMD, if you want to anticipate a weekly AMD, use 4-hour market structure. Use your 4-hour market structure. You can be able to anticipate an AMD, especially if Friday, if 4-hour, let me repeat. Especially if Friday, if this was Friday, and you have a higher high on 4-hour, the next week you should anticipate an AMD, and that AMD will be now the higher low on Tuesday. Then they continue with the distribution. So here, as you can see, accumulation on Monday, Tuesday, manipulate, low of the week. Then from Tuesday, distribution, distribution, distribution. Then Friday, price closes. That's the weekly MD. Tuesday, low of the week. And then Thursday was high of the week, and then Friday close. Sometimes it's easy, man, it's easy. Then sometimes it's a mess. It's like an advance. So for example, this one here, this was accumulation, manipulation here, then distribution throughout the week. Choose the high of the week, distribution the rest of the week. Where was the setup? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, BMS, lower low, return to order block. You sell here. You have sold here. And then you hold until Friday. But this was a messy week though. This week needs someone with patience, because if you see all of this, some people would just lose hope and say, nah, I'm done. So you need to have patience, especially when price comes down here. This is why psychology is very important. You sell here, let's say you entered with the one lot, price comes to, let's see, price comes to like $600 profit, then goes back up to like $20 or $50. This is why you need strong psychology to be able to hold this, to hold all of this. But anyways, okay, let's go. Let me go to the charts now. So for weekly, if you want to anticipate, that's the word I'll use. Do not say if you want to catch the weekly MD. If you want to anticipate, okay, even if it doesn't happen, you can still trade. You can, market structure will be clear. You can still trade. But it's just a confluence. So let's go to 4-hour. So we're going to use 4-hour charts. Where's the other one? Where's the other one? Where's the other? Clear AMD. So you see, all these weeks, sometimes there's no AMD. You see here, Monday, for this week, Monday was the high of the week, and Thursday the low of the week. There was no AMD here. This week was the accumulation. It was a sideways week. There was no AMD. Same thing, this one. This one was Monday, low of the week, Thursday high of the week. Also different. So sometimes you won't see it. You won't see the weekly AMD. But market structure will still be clear. But this is a good example that I saw here. So like here, right? Price was bullish, making higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low. Then there was a higher high on Friday. Friday was the higher high. So next week we were anticipating a higher low. Where? This is our order block. This is our mitigation block. I'll show you on 1 hour. It's on 1 hour. It's more clear on 1 hour. And this was our BMS. Right. So then we go to 1 hour. On 1 hour, this is our mitigation block here. This one here. Right. And then we also have a confluence of an order block, 2. Another order block. So order block, mitigation block. Right. Then, so Friday, just like I said, Friday high of the week. Friday was the higher high. Friday was the higher high. So next week, I'm anticipating a higher low. And also I can anticipate an AMD. So now, when the next week came, Monday was in accumulation. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, so I think now we are having, this is our accumulation. So now I'm expecting a manipulation. What's the manipulation? That's the higher low. The manipulation will be the higher low. Then what happened on Tuesday? Tuesday, boom, higher low. That's the manipulation. AM, also choose the low of the week. Then now distribution. So your market structure, higher low, BMS, higher high, higher low, we continue going high. So you can anticipate weekly AMD with 4-hour market structure. If they give it to you, good. If they don't, yeah, well, you can still trade. We can still trade. Then the same week, again, there was a reversal here. There was now a reversal. This is the BMS. So there was a lower low, there was a lower high on Friday. Then there was a lower low on Friday. Friday close was the lower low. So meaning next week, we are anticipating a lower high. So if I see an accumulation on Monday, then it means Tuesday is going to be the manipulation and also the lower high. And that's what happened here. Accumulation on Monday, manipulation, Tuesday, high of the week. Also our lower high. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Because I'm on 1 hour, that's why you have all this internal structure here. But if you go to 4 hour, 4 hour is a clear lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. It's a clear lower low. But on 1 hour, there's some structures inside. So that was the weekly A, M, then you sell here. And the whole week was distribution. All of it, the whole week was distribution. The rest of the week was distribution.
So I have one question, Peter, one question. The right leg is higher than the left leg. Why is this a lower high too?
There. That's like I said, I was using the 1 hour chart. This is the 4 hour chart.
The both one is a lower high.
Now, as you can see, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. There's no BMS here. There is no BMS. It's a lower high.
When it's touched 2 times the baseline, the line, it's the same.
It doesn't matter whether it's 1 line, 2, 3, 4. As long as they don't break this high, as long as there's no BMS here, it's not a higher high. It's a lower high.
It's the same. Okay.
So just like I was saying, I think because the last time I was using the 1 hour chart. So now you can see that it's clear. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. But if you go to 1 hour, there's more 1 hour is a BMS though. But 4 hours 1 hour is a BMS. But that's like why I said last time that if you see that you have a BMS on 1 hour, also check 4 hour to see clearly if it's a BMS. 4 hours is more stronger than 1 hour. 4 hours is more stronger and more respected than 1 hour. So that was the weekly AMD here. Choose the high of the week, the rest of the week distribution. So someone could have sold here and you get out here. Swing all of this. It also re-enter here, re-enter here, re-enter here. And then the next week, there was no AMD. Just like I was saying, sometimes here, there was no AMD here. No AMD, yes, you can see, I think you guys can see that there's no clear AMD or AMD. There's nothing here. Consolidation, also here, nothing, Nothing. So sometimes there's no AMD, but your market structure will be clear. Your order blocks will be respected. Your breakers will be respected. Everything will be respected, and you'll be buying and selling. But there's just no AMD. So it's just a confluence setup, just to confluence your setup. And this was a weekly AM. So now this was advanced higher time frame AMD. The whole week, all of it, this whole week was accumulation. Then Friday began the manipulation. Boom, manipulate M. And up to the next week, up to the following week. On Tuesday also, it was a Tuesday high of the week. Then distribution now. There was the distribution. This was an advanced higher time frame AMD, this one. So whenever you see a higher time frame accumulation, expect the manipulation. Expect a bigger, and also expect a big distribution. But your market structure will be the key. Market structure is the key to align that AMD. And then this week, no AMD, no AMD, no AMD here. But I know there was some AMD inside here, inside. Yeah, and then I think since then they haven't been giving us 3 AMDs. Price has not been giving us. I think okay, there was this one here. Accumulation, M1, M2 distribution. Yeah, this was a weekly type 2 AMD. This one here. A, M1, M2 distribution. And let's look at our market structure. Lower low, lower high, BMS, lower low, BMS, higher high, higher low, a higher low stop hand. There was no BMS here, so it's a higher low. This is a higher low because there's no BMS of this low. Higher low, BMS, then price goes up. Nothing here, nothing sideways market. Wait, this week, let's see this week. This week, was this Tuesday? Where that higher low. Yeah, it was. So this was the accumulation. This is the manipulation here. But it came in Asia, yeah. Then the rest of the week distribution. Yeah. So this one here, the AMD. This one, let me zoom a bit. The following week, no AMD, accumulation. No AMD, no AMD, also no AMD, no AMD, yeah. Since then, no AMD. So the weekly AMD does not happen all the time. It's not that common. And there was one here, yeah. AMD, this one. This was last week, yeah, this was last week. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. This week, nothing. This week, there's nothing. It's Monday, low of the week. This week, there's nothing. All right. So any questions now on the AMD? Any question on the daily, weekly AMD?
Yes, that's the actual trend from EU, and on the right side, it's accumulation. You say, or
which one?
Yes, the W on the right side. Or what's the trend? Goes up?
Which one? This is a big chart. So which one? Where?
The right.
Where?
21 January. 21 right now.
21 is here.
On the right side, right? Yes. Now the price goes up, and is this accumulation, this range, or what is it?
This one. Or this one?
Yes. I can't show. Sorry.
Well, because wait, if we look at market structure, I think that's the one I was marking here. This market structure here: lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. How to make a low, BMS.
Okay, I lose my picture.
Just
Sorry.
annotate, yeah, you can annotate.
It's okay. It's okay.
You can annotate. Because like I was saying, like I was saying that we can use 4-hour market structure. This was a lower low here, and then there was an accumulation. Then this was the manipulation to make a lower high. Then now distribution. But because if I look at this week, this is this week. Let me see. Okay, let's look at the lower time frame. If we have any accumulation. Okay, so we don't have our typical AMD this week. This whole week there was no our typical AMD, because our typical AMD is Tuesday or Wednesday, low of the week or high of the week. Tuesday or Wednesday, low or high of the week. This week, Monday was the low of the week. So it's not our typical AMD. So these are not an AMD. But looking at on this day, just looking at Monday, this was an A, this was an M, this was the distribution. And it took about 2 days to do, distribution of 2 days. But using our 4-hour weekly AMD, there was no weekly AMD, but we had this Monday AMD here, Monday and Tuesday AMD. So I hope I answered your question.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
But 4 hours, there was no, this week there was no AMD. So now, now we have a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Failed to make a low, BMS. So we have a type 2 here. But my key high is this one. It's my key lower high. Okay, because this is a complex pullback here. So this type 2 reversal here that we have here is a internal. Well, this is our lower low, lower high, lower low. Right. So this is an internal type 2 reversal. So for me to say that we are now bullish, I want to see a BMS of this high. Then I can say we are bullish now. So as long as they are failing to break this high, and then they start coming down, then it's not an. I'm still bearish. I'm still big. This was a complex pullback. This was a complex pullback. So I think it was Marcus who was asking me what's going on EU.
Yes, right. Yes, I have an answer of my question. No.
So today there's nothing. Today there's just there's nothing today. To be honest, there's nothing. This is just a mess. This is what we call seek and destroy. They're just going up and down, taking out liquidity. There's nothing. But this is an accumulation now. Yeah, this is also an accumulation. I only have a few seconds. These are accumulation. So you should expect a manipulation coming up. Expect a manipulation coming up, then a distribution. Yeah. So I think, that is all. That's for today's lesson. So I'll give you send you the video, then you can watch it. Yeah. Then you can do the okay. I'll talk about the homework in the group. Yeah, I'll talk about the homework, and I'll send you a PDF of one of the students who did some really beautiful AMD charts. All right.